Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So for whatever reason, I decided to watch the David Haye versus Joe Fournier fight. It was an 8-round fight, 8 2-minute rounds. Obviously, essentially an exhibition, which was on the Triller card, headlined by Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort. And yeah, David Haye won an 8-round unanimous decision over Joe Fournier. Joe Fournier, of course, a billionaire, according to reports at least, and he made that money in the club scene, and him and David Haye are friends, and apparently this fight came about because both guys had some friendly banter in regards to what would happen if they fought, so that's what they did. Well, that's the story at least. That's the narrative they chose to sell this fight. In reality, this was an easy cash grab for David Haye, and as for Joe Fournier, he doesn't need the money, but obviously something like this is good for his profile. And yeah, you know, these two guys I'm sure went in a back room and basically decided that David Haye wouldn't knock out Joe Fournier, he would carry him the distance, but David Haye would win the fight. Basically this fight was a work, you know, and we kind of knew that going in, but nevertheless it was somewhat funny to watch. David Haye actually scored a knockdown in the first round. He kind of threw like a jab, like an arm punch. Joe Fournier just walked straight into it and got put on the seat of his pants. And after the first round, David Haye was basically moving, popping the jab, feinting. He wasn't loading up on any punches, you know, pure arm punches. And he basically just outpointed Joe Fournier, kept Joe Fournier at distance, messed him around with a jab, and basically David Haye won every single round in this fight. Joe Fournier came in with some looping overhand rights, some wild left hooks, a few flurries here and there, but, you know, David Haye really was just in sparring mode, you know, working with one hand essentially, and he won the fight on points in an 8-round decision. And yeah, I mean, after every round these guys were touching gloves, hugging and whatnot. And yeah, it was what it was, man. It was kind of funny to see. And for me personally, you know, back in the day as a kid, when I was coming up watching boxing, I was always a big David Haye fan, so I'll always have some nostalgia towards David Haye. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cringy to see him resort to this sort of thing. But you know, at the end of the day, if they're gonna offer him money to take this sort of fight, why not? I guess, right? But yeah, I mean, it was a fixed fight. You know, it was basically scripted, and it was what it was. And the funniest thing was, at the end of this fight, in the post-fight interview, David Haye goes full salesman, and he calls out Tyson Fury. He said that was the one fight he would come back for in the pro ranks, is a Tyson Fury fight, and he called him a big dosser. You know, so I mean, it is what it is, man. David Haye, I admire David Haye's audacity and his like sheer arrogance is the wrong word, but like that guy just wants to get paid, man. No shame. It's kind of funny to see, but yeah, I mean, David Haye beats Joe Fournier on points in a fixed fight, a worked fight, but nevertheless, as cringy as it was kind of funny. But as for David Haye calling out Tyson Fury, he needs to leave that alone. To be honest, you know, this whole exhibition craze which is going on right now, I wouldn't mind seeing David Haye fight an exhibition where it's actually a real fight. So like maybe, for example, David Haye versus Mike Tyson in an exhibition where both guys are actually going to come to fight. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that, but yeah, David Haye needs to leave the pro ranks well alone. You know, because in this fight, yeah, it was a worked fight, but you could tell by David Haye's movement, his body mechanics, that he's shot to bits. We knew that years ago, but, you know, just pointing out the obvious. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Spinny Guy Delboy. Peace.